Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Given the absence of any major difficulties, we can expect a mass sprint finish. But watch out for the wind that could cause gorges and make for a totally unfettered race.
Watch out! You're not going to be able to attack for much longer. It's looking good. You've got more than a minute's lead on the peloton. They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax. Puncture! Puncture! No, just kidding. It was to wake up the mechanic. You're 5 kilometers from the intermediate sprint. His teammates are accelerating. They're no doubt readying the intermediate sprint. The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily.
Okay, I'll consume a feed.
The riders are approaching a slightly exposed zone. If the wind is blowing from the side, there could be gorges.
The peloton is 1 minute 30 behind you. Your opponents are upping the pace to hold off the peloton. The peloton is 1 minute 30 behind you. 2 kilometers from the top.
The sole best climber's summit will earn 1 point.
Watch out! You're not going to be able to attack for much longer. The riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end.
Last time check with the breakaway, 1 minute. The breakaway is in the sight of the peloton. There's little chance that it can hold off the sprinters' teams.
Watch the demeanor of the other sprinters to know when to launch your sprint. If you start too soon, you will be unable to continue your effort to the line. If you start too late, you will not have time to work your way to the front.
The sprinters are ready to fight it out. Well positioned on the wheel of their team members, they'll soon be burning rubber. The red pennant for the peloton.
Last kilometer! You've got to sprint!
We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is you didn't. We had no real ambition. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for...
Hello and welcome to all. The generally flat route should lend itself to a battle between sprinters for the stage victory. However, the peloton may be hit by crosswinds, which could see the idea of Borgias being hatched, some teams being perfectly able to exploit this type of situation.
Bravo les gars, c'est bien.
Things are livening up at the head of the peloton.
Up the pace, guys, to prepare for the intermediate sprint. Watch out. You're not going to be able to attack for much longer.
If he wants to take points for the polka dot jersey, he must break away.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The front of the race is 10 kilometers from the intermediate sprint.
The race is won as a team. If your rider doesn't have enough energy to break away early in the stage, don't hesitate to use Team Com to ask teammates to attack or to change the rider.
The time gap with the head of the race is stable.
You must constantly try to shelter from the wind so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race. Flat stages. Little wonder that they're not shown in their entirety on TV. Watch out, guys, because in 10 or so kilometers, the roads will be wide open and the wind could have its say. Stay well up front to avoid being caught by a bordure.
The breakaway is losing ground. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton. Last time checked with the breakaway, 1 minute.
The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win. The riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end.
The next 2 climbs are classified as 4th category. There is only 1 point to be had at the top of each.
The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win.
30 seconds lead for the head of the race. The riders are all back together. Everything will be played out in the final kilometers. As we enter the final 10 kilometers, the peloton is bunched. We're heading towards a mass sprint.
Watch the demeanor of the other sprinters to know when to launch your sprint. If you start too soon, you will be unable to continue your effort to the line. If you start too late, you will not have time to work your way to the front.
Okay, I'll put in a big acceleration. Okay, I'll protect him.
Another 5 kilometers. The sprinters' teams are putting the peloton along at very high speed.
Just 5 more kilometers. We are heading for a mass sprint.
Only 3 kilometers left for the peloton. Everything will come down to the sprint. Last kilometre for the peloton. The sprinters are in the front line. They will soon be burning rubber.
Last kilometer. You've got to sprint.
We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is you didn't prove me wrong. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. The main thing to grasp today is that the route is flat and it harbours no particular difficulties. A sprint finish is more than likely. We don't have